What's up, everybody? We just got back from the Big Island in Hawaii, and I gotta say, we had one epic vacation. It was filled with a bunch of adventures, a lifetime of memories. However, what I didn't expect was how physically demanding it was. I've been to Maui, I've been to Kauai. I would say both places, I felt more calm, more relaxed. However, with the Big Island, some of the activities, which we're gonna talk about is the three main ones, was fairly physically taxing as well as mentally taxing. Here at Vita Course, we're all about training, exercising, working out to empower your body so you can embark on adventures and activities that you want to go on, that you want to be able to enjoy. Today, we're going to go over the three popular destinations on the Big Island in terms of what to expect and how to prepare. The three destinations we're going to talk about today is going to be number one, the Kilauea Iki Crater Trail. I'm sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Number two, the Green Sand Beach. And number three, my favorite, which is gonna be Captain Cook's Monument.
First, we had to get coffee. So we went to Heiko Coffee. Now we're driving to go to the base of the volcano. And then we are going to explore the Hilo side of the island. So the east side, that's what's on the itinerary for now. And then take us wherever the wind takes us.
Our first stop is the Dormant Crater Trail. What you see today is the remnants of the 1959 eruption. On the trail, there's two directions because it's a loop. So you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. Lainey read a bunch of reviews and many people suggested to take the counterclockwise route, and that's the route we decided to take. So if you're planning to take that route, then this is what you're gonna expect. In the beginning, for most part of the trail is a gradual slope. It's pretty easy. However, it can be hard on the knees, so make sure that you implement a bunch of different exercises to kind of improve the strength of your legs to make sure that your knees as well as your ankles are protected. However, as you get closer to the crater, that's when the trail becomes a little bit rougher. You're gonna come across a lot of uneven terrain with big rocks as well as a lot of uneven steps, and some of the steps are pretty tall. So you wanna make sure that you implement plenty of lower body strength exercises, for the quads, the hamstrings, the calves, and the ankles to make sure you stay balanced near the bottom of the trail. If you do suffer from any kind of knee issues or ankle issues, there are grab rails, but it's not all the way through the trail. Along the entire trail, pretty much you are covered. Once you get to the crater, there's no more sun coverage. So make sure you bring a hat, some sunglasses, sunscreen, make sure you're protected. Once you get down to the crater, take your time, enjoy yourselves. I have to say, this is one of the most magical yet strange places I've ever been. It feels out of this world. So yeah, pack a lunch, spend some time down there, do a little bit of exploring. Once you're done exploring and you're at the end of the crater looking to come back up, this is where if you go to counterclockwise route, it's gonna get a little bit steeper. The path is relatively flat. You may see some steam vents along the way. The grade is quite a bit steeper than the beginning part of the trail. However, even though it's a lot steeper, it's a lot shorter, so it won't take you as long to get back up to the top. If you decide to take the clockwise route, then it's the exact opposite. So that's the difference between if you go counterclockwise or clockwise. Pick a route and be prepared. Our second stop is the Green Sand Beach. This beach is something I have never seen before. It has gold flecks on the beach, and when you look into the bay, you see this, kind of tealish, bluish hue. It's really something I have never seen in my life. This beach, as magical as it is, it's a little bit of a trek to get there. The trail itself is actually not too bad. It's relatively flat. However, there's no sun coverage. So just like with the Crater Trail, make sure you have a hat, sunglasses, and sunscreen. We actually saw a couple. One was wearing flip-flops, the other one was wearing Crocs. So do you need proper hiking shoes like you would for the Crater Trail? I mean, I guess not so much, but I would still recommend you wearing some form of hiking shoes or tennis shoes that gives you a decent amount of ankle support. The entire hike there and back is roughly about 5.5 miles, which isn't necessarily too bad. However, because there's no sun coverage, it's gonna feel a lot more harder than if you were at the Crater Trail where you do get a little bit of sun coverage. So make sure you bring plenty of water and snacks for your trip. Now, when you arrive, you have to actually hike down this kind of steep cliff. There's a really short ladder, roughly about 6 to 8 feet tall, that you have to go down as well. There's quite a bit of sand, so your footing may not feel too secure, but it's not too bad to get down there. One of the things you want to make sure if you're going on this adventure is make sure you condition your legs in order to make that hike, as well as make sure that you can hike down that cliff safely. There is, however, another option for the hike itself to get to the green sand beach. When you get there, get to the parking lot, there's actually people offering a shuttle service. When I say shuttle, it's just random people with the old beat up pickup truck that you stand on the back. I mean, there's some grab rails, but that's what you're gonna expect. It's not gonna be a fancy shuttle. However, even if you take the shuttle, once you get to the cliffside, you still have to hike down. I overheard one of the guys say the shuttle service costs about 20 bucks. There are porta potties right at the entrance near the parking lot. So if you do need to, go, there's a spot for you to do so. Finally, we're on to the last destination, which is Captain Cook's Monument. This by far is both Lainey's and mine's favorite adventure. When you get there and you got your snorkeling mask on and you just dive into the water, it's like a underwater magical kingdom. It is so beautiful and is considered one of the best snorkeling spots in North America. You'll expect to see a lot of coral reefs, a lot of different species of fish. We saw this little tape fish that I've never seen before. Very cool. If you're gonna pick just one adventure out of the 3 that we're talking about today, this is the one that I highly recommend. To get to Captain Cook's Monument, there are 3 ways. You could hike it, you could take a boat tour, or you can rent a kayak and kayak across the bay to get to the monument. We picked the 3rd option, which is the kayak. If you were to hike, it's roughly about a 4-mile hike, but it's very steep. It's steep going down, steep coming back up. I would probably recommend hiking the least if you don't feel like you're conditioned, because not only do you have to hike down, there's not a lot of sun coverage, barely any. However, you're gonna spend your day snorkeling around and then you're gonna have to hike all the way back up. It could be pretty strenuous. If you are planning on hiking it, please do plenty of lower body exercises that incorporate muscles that surrounds your joints, such as your knees and your ankles. If you decide to go with the boat tour, it's nice because you don't really have to do any kind of physical work to get there other than, driving to the parking lot, parking, and walking onto the boat. You get to the destination, they take you there, jump off the boat, you dive in with your snorkeling mask, enjoy your time. The downside of taking the boat tour is you're on a planned schedule. So you can't really leave and go as you please. But it is the least physically taxing to enjoy Captain Cook's Monument. The 3rd is, of course, the path that we took. We rented a kayak and we kayaked across the bay. Now, if you are physically able to do this, this is the mode of travel that I highly, highly recommend, because you get to paddle across this beautiful bay and at these cliffs. We heard some goats, we didn't see any. There were people that came in before we left that saw dolphins in the bay. So if you want to have those type of experiences, this is the path you want to take. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any dolphins, so that kind of sucks. But like I said, we did get to hear some goats, enjoyed the beautiful scenery, took our time. We went at our own schedule. We can stop whenever we wanted to stop, chill. We can paddle whenever we wanted to paddle. It's just our way of traveling. If you never kayaked before, it takes a decent amount of upper body strength. It's gonna be a little bit more taxing on the upper body, specifically your back, especially if you never kayaked. So make sure that you implement plenty of back exercises from the lower back all the way to the upper back, including your biceps and triceps. It took about 20 minutes to paddle there, so make sure you bring a hat, sunglasses, some sunscreen. Bring a lunch too as well, because you're going to be spending a couple hours out there and you want to make sure you're not hungry. The kayak rental place we rented from offered dry bags for free. This way it keeps your electronics free and clear of being damaged during your trip. I truly feel like in order to truly enjoy your adventure on the Big Island, you do have to be more physically ready, as some of the iconic destinations we're talking about today really required a good amount of physical strength. Make sure that you implement the proper exercises in your training plan to help you prepare for a trip to the Big Island. And that's what training is all about. It's about empowering our body so we can go on the adventures that we want to go on and enjoy the activities that we want to enjoy. In the description of this video, I've added exercises that you can implement into your training plan that can help you with your trip to the Big Island. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that below, and we'll see you in the next one.